open up the Tuesday, November 5th, 2019 Warrenton Board of Alderman meeting. At this time, I'd like to go ahead and notify you that we are removing number 8A from the agenda, which would be the First Amendment to the Montgomery County Water Bulk Sewer Agreement. It will be removed from the agenda. Now, if you would, please rise with us and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item would be the consent agenda.
We have the regular meeting minutes from October 15th, 2019.
With that, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda items as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Deloy, seconded by Alderman Dyer. Roll call vote.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Alderman Shell Harvey, Alderman Dyer,
Yes.
Alderman Ock,
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0, or 5 with 1 abstaining. Next will be hearing from the public. If you'd like to comment on anything, we'd ask for you to come forward to the podium, state your name. We'll give you 5 minutes to speak. Not seeing anybody, we'll move on. Next will be the Board of Alderman comments.
I want to make a couple. Clarified for the public. We currently have put out for public consideration ordinances that would affect downtown and the maintenance of property. Allow the public podium. So since it's in a compact, over comments, it's quite fine putting on this. So, a couple things came up in the meeting that I think the public needs to be clarified on. The purpose of this. So the purpose of the ordinance is simply to address maintenance property issues in the downtown area. We have a number of businessmen who are very committed to the downtown area. The city is very committed to the historical downtown area. And what we're simply asking the property owners to do down there is something very simple: maintain the exterior buildings. We have some people who have invested a lot of money in their property, and this is a discussion about making sure that everybody in the downtown area it takes care of their buildings. It's not intended to be burdensome. The city has been on more than one occasion said we're willing to work with property owners, but it's a commitment that we've made as a board to address the downtown area, because I think everybody who historically has lived in town has talked about what the downtown used to be and what we'd like for it to be. So as we're sitting in this section where we're talking about maintenance downtown, I think it's critical that we get input, and then at the proper time we then advocate for what we feel is the best thing to do. So I hope that clarifies some of the comments that have come up since the last meeting on this. Thank you.
Any other comments?
I would just like to thank the mayor and the board and Terry and her staff for reaching out with their thoughts of sympathy and condolences during my family's recent loss, and I want to thank you all for your support. So, thank you very much.
Anyone else? Right. We'll move on to City Administrator Terry Thorne.
So my only item for you this evening, since we removed the first one, is the discussion related to an ordinance that's on later this meeting about closing the eastern portion of Pinckney Road, which we know as Celia Lane. If you recall, about this time last year, we entered into an agreement with the Keevan Family Partnership And there were several requirements of them to complete in order to meet their considerations for the closure of this portion of Pinckney Road. Um, they have now completed the temporary turnaround for the school buses and emergency vehicles that might be larger that need that extra consideration. And they also have made the required improvements where Pinckney comes out on MM or Boone Slick, widened that, made a turn lane. So everything that needed to be recorded, so everything from the easement for the sidewalk, which was part of the consideration that the city required, which will now allow a sidewalk to go all the way from down in front of the 911 center all the way up to MM. We now have a continuous easement to be able to put a future sidewalk in there to get people off of that stretch of Highway U. So all those things have been accomplished, and it's now time for us to pass the ordinance to actually formally close that stretch of Pinckney or Celia and turn that area back over to Keevan Family Partnership. They will then have 6 months after this formal action to get all of that rough grading and leveling of those parcels of land completed. So there is an ordinance on this evening which will take that formal action to close that stretch of roadway.
What is the action taken if the grading is not accomplished in the 6 month? Is there a provision in the ordinance for that?
I do not believe that there is anything that I can recall in that agreement. They've already started, and I know they already have a contractor waiting to do that. They had to move some of that soil in order to get the temporary turnaround put in. And they've already taken down a lot of the brush and trees. So I know that they've let the contract for it already. They're just waiting on the approval.
I know as you on MM and you're going to the east, sometimes vision to Highway U can be a little obstructed, and cars are coming in there. So as soon as that gets leveled out, I think it'll improve safety significantly.
There are some hooks in there, Alderman Ock. I just don't remember what it is. We had to deed Celia Lane to them for a liability standpoint, and we had to do that at this point, liability standpoint, so they could actually do the grading. But I can't there was something if they don't do it in the 6 months, and I don't know if it was a liquidated damage provision or something. Maybe it was a contractual agreement that it reverts to the city. That's what it was. There is a contractual reversion, but we didn't want to do that in the deed because we didn't want to have any liability if somebody got hurt once we turned it over. So
Chris wrote the agreement, so I feel
there was a hook or two.
safe that we're well protected.
Hooked it right.
There's hooks. We got those improvements done by the way we structured it, so we're happy that they're moving along.
Good. Thank you.
That's all I have this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Director of Operations, Brandy Walters.
The first thing that I have for you is our monthly administration report. As you can see on there, we are doing a lot of interviewing and hiring for lifeguards right now, so if you know anybody, send them our way.
Questions in regards to that?
Brandy, the majority of the new hires, has that been because of the pool
Yes,
transfer?
and mostly part-time people.
Okay.
All right, Brandy.
The next thing that I have on my list is the items to be approved for sale. So that list of items, once we get the approval, we'll list all those on Gov Deals and try to sell everything. They're mostly old cars, old lawnmowers, a couple things from the old pool, the ADA lift and the diving boards.
Seeing a couple items from the pool. I know one time we discussed how we were going to dispose of the slide and all that. We talked about some agreement with another town that was interested. Is that still going on, or is
You're
that?
actually working on that agreement now. It's going to be donated to some sort of a disabled camp where they have special needs kids that go there. So it's going to be donated to them. We have a company that'll come in and they're going to remove the slide and then they'll take it there and install it.
Questions? motion to approve the list of items to be sold as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Miller, seconded by Alderman Dyer. Roll call vote.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Shell Harvey?
Yes.
Alderman Dyer?
Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Deloy.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
And the last thing that I have is the tourism recommendations. So they have multiple things on their list this month for the interstate signs, and then we also have the different special events. Each one of those special events is up to that amount. And those, the city will transfer those funds over.
On any of those? I'll entertain a motion to approve the tourism recommendations in the amount of $113,200.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Shell Harvey, seconded by Alderman Dyer. Roll call vote.
Alderman Shell Harvey?
Yes.
Alderman Dyer?
Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Deloy.
Yes.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes. Motion passes 6-0.
Two quick more things. On November 15th, there's going to be a ribbon cutting at the Cuban Cafe on Main Street.
What day was it again?
December 15th. I do not have the time.
November 15th. December?
November 15th.
November.
Yeah. November 15th, and it's going to be where that artisan, the two lady artisans used to be. It's in that location. I'll have to email you the time because I don't have that off the top of my head. Sorry about that. I wanted to let you know that the stumps are being ground at the cemetery, and they should finish those by Friday. His grinding machine broke today, but they should finish that by Friday. And the lights at Morgan Tennis Court have been fixed.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Next, we'll hear from Finance Officer Dana Blask.
I have before you a list of claims for your approval. $242,996.96. Were there any questions related to that list of claims?
I believe so. There's no questions. I'll entertain a motion to approve the accounts payable in the amount of $242,996.96.
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Alderman Miller, seconded by Alderman Schultz. Roll call vote.
Alderman Dyer?
Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Deloy.
Yes.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Shell Harvey?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
In addition, you have the financial report for the month of September, so the first quarter of this fiscal year. So at this point in the general fund, we're about $100,000 above budget. Sales tax is running about 6% above budget right now. So in the general fund alone, that's about $34,000. Again, that Hickory Lick grant that was from prior year's work, about $59,000 of that. So that's a part of the $100,000 above budget, and also the aquatic center, while it's running a little bit below budget, about $25,000 below budget, but we're seeing a steady increase there. On the expense side, the general fund expenses are about $253,000 below budget. Payroll items are about $85,000 of that. Management contract for that last been received. All the fall festival related. Water and sewer fund. Notice that there were about $66,000 above budget. Kind of a mixture. Housing starts about $36,000 above budget, while residential, commercial, water, sewer sales are slightly below budget. But industrial sewer, like for the Coke plant, is running a little bit above. Operating water and sewer fund, right now about $73,000 below budget. Again, primarily related to wage and payroll type things. For balance of that is issue. Questions related.
believe so.
Thank you, Dana. Next, we'll hear from our aquatics director, Lisa Kramer.
Good evening. You have in front of you the monthly report for October. That was the first month that the city has taken over the pool, and those are our numbers. One of the highlights of October was a birthday party that we had for the pool on October 13th. We had an open house type atmosphere for anybody to come check out the pool, and we had over 100 people join us for that open house. So I feel that was a great success. Some things that are coming up this month. Next Monday is Veterans Day, so we have started to do a military membership. It'll be the same price points as the senior membership, but we're allowing veterans and active military to come use the pool and get a membership at a discounted rate. We're also opening the pool up on Monday for Veterans Day to all military and veterans to come for free and hang out at the pool. And lastly, we are working on developing a monthly payment plan for people who want to buy a membership pass. I heard through our surveys that we passed out that there were many people that would think about taking out a membership if they could pay on a monthly basis instead of all up front. So we're working on putting that together as well. Any questions?
That's great.
I'd like to see you adding some of those new things. I think we're not thinking outside of the box so much maybe, but you're definitely thinking about along some new lines and stuff, and I think it's good. Thank you.
All right, next we'll hear from Public Works Director, Guy Jeevers.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. You have my monthly report. They're doing sidewalk on Boyer Avenue, some street repairs on Jason Kyle, and a couple water main repairs and fire hydrant repairs. Of the board.
Regards to that?
Next item I have is the approval for the well house replacement. We budgeted for well house 4 and 6 roof to be replaced. After we got the bids, it was determined that we only had enough to do one well. So we're going to do well number 6, and that come in at $6,250. We budgeted $7,200. So I need approval to get the well house number 6 repaired.
It's number 6.
That would be the one by Chicks Lumber.
Okay.
Approval for that.
Regular construction was the only bid.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, Rager Construction.
I'll entertain a motion to award the well house roof replacement bid to Regular Construction in the amount of $6,250 for well number 6, the only bid.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Shell Harvey, seconded by Alderman Dyer. Roll call vote.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Shell Harvey?
Yes.
Alderman Dyer?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Next item I have is for approval for Gonzalez Engineering for design and contract for a new 18-inch sanitary sewer. And that would be in the front of the outlet mall. And that includes 2 bores under Highway 70. That's getting us sanitary sewer from east of town, bringing it down. The sewer line isn't big enough. No, it's from the outlet coming from the roundabouts, new interchange, I'm sorry, in the north side. So that's bringing the sewer line big enough to handle the development up there. And that's, the contract price for that was $129,800. And that gets us our permits and everything. So I need approval for that.
entertain a motion to approve the Gonzalez Company professional service agreement for the Interceptor sewer to the outlet mall in the amount of $129,800.
So moved.
Second.
Made by Alderman Deloy, seconded by Alderman Miller. Roll call vote.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Yes.
Alderman Shell Harvey,
Yes.
Alderman Dyer,
Yes.
Alderman Ock.
Next item I have is contract between Cochran Engineering for professional service, and this is just for engineering. This is no construction cost for water line on Hawthorne Drive, Buckhorn Court, Oak Lawn, and Woodland, and the amount of $25,960. Budget amount was $29,000.
Question?
Correct you on that, guy. It's Oak Wood.
Oakwood.
Oak Lawn is over on this side of the highway, so let's get that.
Any questions in regards to that?
Guy, are all these streets contiguous or?
Yes, for the water line, and this is through our program that we've set up that they've already been approved by DNR. So it's
okay.
it's replacing. We're working off of our 5-year program.
'Cause I can't place where these streets are.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hawthorne's the one that goes to the right.
Yes, okay, gotcha.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the Cochran Engineering Agreement for professional services for engineering only for the water main replacement at Hawthorne Drive, Buckhorn Court, Oakwood Lane, and Wood Lane in the amount of $25,960.
So moved.
Second.
Made by Alderman Schultz, seconded by Alderman Dyer. Roll call vote.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Alderman Shell Harvey,
Yes.
Alderman Dyer,
Yes.
Alderman Ock,
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Next item I have is approval for professional service for Cochran Engineering for water line for engineering only for Tomahawk Lane for the amount of $10,760. Budgeted amount was $12,000.
Questions in regards to that? I'll entertain a motion to approve the Cochran Engineering Agreement for professional services for engineering only for the water main improvements for Tomahawk Lane in the amount of $10,760.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Sharvey, seconded by Alderman Dyer. Roll call vote.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Alderman Shell Harvey,
Yes.
Alderman Dyer,
Yes.
Alderman Ock,
Yes.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Deloy.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Next item I have is professional service for Cochran Engineering for engineering for water line replacement on Vachel Avenue to Roy to Warren for $10,460. Budget amount was $13,000.
Any questions in reference to that? I'll entertain a motion to approve the Cochran Engineering Agreement for professional services for engineering only for the water main improvements on Vachel Avenue in the amount of $10,460.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Dyer, seconded by Alderman Sharvey. Roll call vote.
Alderman Shell Harvey,
Yes.
Alderman Dyer,
Yes.
Alderman Ock,
Yes.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz.
Yes. Motion passes 6-0.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Are you finished asking for money then?
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay.
Well, to his benefit, this time he came under budget on a majority of them. I've got to say, that's good.
You had more things.
Sure.
Yeah, I noticed they're really going to town on Roosevelt. How's that going? Can you give us an update?
That's going well. We're having issues. Traffic-wise, we cone it off so people don't come down. We try to keep the streets shut down except for local traffic because it is high. But it's moving along. There's a lot of dirt they're digging out and it's tight in there. So,
Like once they dig out, then it rains, and they got swimming
and they got,
pools.
last night they had a couple rain days involved in it, and they're trying to keep the streets open best they can. But the street's narrow, So if anybody can avoid it, that area, that would be great.
They have a projected timeline for
They
completion?
do. Get my eyes on. Twelve, 10, 19. So we're looking towards December, not counting rain days and whatever weather related. I know we went into a bad time, but I wasn't gonna throw the brakes on it and wait till spring. You know, they should have most of the piping that laid in there.
It'll be done, and then the road will basically sit till the spring, and we can approve the curb and the final part of it?
Yes, we'll make sure, we'll have some seed work that'll probably get held off for a little bit,
Okay.
but we'll address that when it comes. They'll clean it up and we might have to reseed it when springtime comes.
Okay.
And then maybe some concrete work, but we'll just see how the weather holds up for us.
More questions? Thank you, Guy.
You.
Next, we'll hear from Chief of Police Larry Ellard.
Mayor alluded to. A couple of months ago, Detective Sergeant Unger took over the reins of performing the duties of the interim lieutenant. Oh, in the time since then, he has completed the process and has been officially promoted to lieutenant. So tonight, I'd like to introduce.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I do believe he prepared a 5-minute.
Are we supposed to yell speech?
I figured maybe I could do that after the meeting.
Oh, okay.
Sure, don't we all wish we could do that?
And he's also proud of the fact that
Nice.
police awards is his. So the other items I have for you tonight are the approval of 6 general orders. The first would be departmental property. The second would be police awards. The third would be fiscal management and cash funds. The next would be benefits, compensation, and conditions of work. The next would be patrol operations, and last would be line of duty death or serious injury.
Are there any questions on any of those?
These are probably silly questions since I'm not a military or police type, but, so if you go to the award section, like they have a master's degree board meeting, a bachelor's degree board meeting, military issued at the high, so are those awards are gonna be given at specific times? And is that what does the board refer to in that? This is where you turn it to him and go,
This is
Get
the
up to
one
the
that he
mic.
authored.
Get up to the-
We have that listed in there so that typically when you're hired on, whatever you've done, like if you have a bachelor's degree and you come in, we'll go ahead and give you that pin.
Okay.
If you earn one, let's say during your tenure here, we would bring you in in a board meeting,
Okay.
and then you'd be.
That'd be great,
awarded.
because then it'll be a presentation to the board, to the public and see that. That'd be great.
I have one question, Mayor. The last one on the list kind of concerns me a little bit. It says sharpshooter board meeting. Any relevance to that, or is that just?
Again, if when the Top Gun for the year is issued, we could issue that here.
I'm not gonna test it out here.
Right, we're not gonna test it out.
Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve the following department policies. I'm sorry. Department property, police awards, fiscal management, cash funds, benefits, compensation and conditions of work, patrol operations and line of duty death and serious injury policies as submitted.
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Alderman Deloy, seconded by Alderman Schultz. Roll call vote.
Alderman Dyer?
Yes.
Mock?
Yes.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Shell Harvey?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Well, thank you very much. We are at that section for bills to ordinance. So I will entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 45-19.
So moved.
Second.
Alderman Shell Harvey, seconded by Alderman Dyer.
Ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute a deed to vacate the eastern portion of Pickney Road, Celia Lane, between Missouri State Highway U and Millbrook subdivision.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading and passage of bill number 45-19.
So moved. Second.
Who first? Deloy. Okay. And you seconded, Schultz? Motion made by Alderman Deloy, seconded by Alderman Schultz.
Ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute a deed to vacate the eastern portion of Pickney Road, Cecilia Lane, between Missouri Highway U and subdivision.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Ock,
Yes.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Alderman Shell Harvey,
Yes.
Alderman Dyer.
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0. I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 46-19.
So moved.
Second.
And
Motion made by Alderman Schultz, seconded by Alderman Dyer.
Ordinance amending Schedule 4 restricted parking wherein parking is prohibited of Section 365.030 of Chapter 365 of Title 3 of the Municipal Code of the City of Warrenton, Missouri.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading and passage of bill number 46-19.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Miller, seconded by Alderman Ock.
Ordinance amending Schedule 4 restricted parking wherein parking is prohibited of Section 365.030 of Chapter 365 of Title 3 of the Municipal Code of the City of Warrenton, Missouri.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Alderman Shell Harvey,
Yes.
Alderman Dyer,
yes.
Alderman Ock.
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0. I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 47-19.
So moved. Second.
Go with Alderman Miller, seconded by Alderman Shell Harvey.
An ordinance of the city adopting the pre-wireless emergency telephone service authorized 190 RSMO.
Entertain a motion for the second reading and passage of bill number 47-19.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Dyer, seconded by Alderman Shell Harvey.
An ordinance of the city of Warrenton adopting the pre-wireless emergency authorized under 6.46 RSMO.
Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Alderman Shell Harvey,
Yes.
Alderman Dyer,
Yes.
Alderman Ock,
No.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Bill passes 5-1. I'll entertain a motion for the close of the regular Board of Alderman meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Ock, seconded by Alderman Miller. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.